This is how the continuous integration works on your machine. You don't have to do anything, everything has been automated. As soon as you push the code in the GitHub, it is going automatically going to trigger a automation script. It is going to see what all changes are expected, and you can see the result of this as well. Let me show you that. So, what all line of code I have added, this Hemant Gandhi I have added in the last, and this is what I have got printed. And if you go back and see the second one, you will not find the Hemant Gandhi being printed in the output. So here just the title, second line is not there. So what all changes you have keep on going to do, everything is going to be added. So now we have to create a pipeline. So that we have to click on this new item. And over here you have to name the pipeline. Let's say I say web driver pipeline or any name you can provide and select the option as pipeline. Click on OK. So just go down here and you will find an option called as pipeline script. You can skip other items, not as such required for pipeline. So there are like two options here. One is called as pipeline script. The second is called as pipeline script from SVN. So this is we are going to see next. First of all, we will see this one. And over here you will see some sample pipeline test, which is hello world over here. So this is more of a boilerplate for you, which is giving you a default script. So you can explore others as well, GitHub plus Maven. So these are like different steps, scripted pipeline. So these are the different samples which are provided. I will go with the basic one which you can understand. Then let's explore this one. So this is a pipeline which we are going to create. When then we see agent which is saying any. Any here is either like master or slave. There are like two agents we have. Either of two we can provide, but as we are only giving a generic one, so let's keep any, which is either a master or the slave. Then we have multiple stages. Stages as in we are going to first do the development, then we do the testing, then we do the deployment. So we can split our stages in three or maybe four steps, whichever process we are following. Let's say we are going to deploy on staging first, then on the production. So these all stages will be added as well. So on the very first stage, let me like copy and paste it three times so that I will be covering at least three stages. So first stage we are going to take as building. We are going to build the code. So let's say building and echo means print actually. So if you want to print something, you can do that as well. Building the code. Then comes our stage, which we are actually works on. We are the automation engineer. So we will be talking about the testing phase or the stage. So let's talk about this. And over here, in the third stage, we will be talking about the deployment. So these are the three stages we are going to work on. Deployment can be on staging server, then on the production server. So let's discuss one by one. Building is done, building the code or the dev project. Then we have testing, which for which we are going to create a script. And for deployment, we can echo in a way where we are deploying on staging server. So we will keep it as echo, which we are not interacting as we don't have any server as well for deployment. So let's keep it as echo itself. And coming to the testing piece, so there is one option called as pipeline syntax, which I have clicked on, which has taken me to the next tab, which is this one. So there are like multiple sample steps which are possible. There's a big list. So I will be taking things from the GitHub as we'll be referring to the GitHub account part so that from there we can run our script. So this is the option I see which is saying check out from version control. So GitHub is our VC only version control system, so that we are going to take, and over here I will be providing my repo. This is my account and this is the repo which we have just created. So over here again copy it from here, your old. GitHub web URL of your Git, and you can just go back and paste it here. And your branch main is not master, it's a main one, and you are good to generate the pipeline script. You can copy it from here, go back and paste it in the steps. Instead of echo, just have to copy it by manually here. This one is not working. So let's paste this and enter. So now you will be saying sh, which is a shell command, as we are using Linux. If you would have taken the AMI as the image, which we have chosen in the very initial step as Windows, then we will be taking BAT command. So sh here we are going to take, and we will say mbn, and the command will be in single quotes mbn clean test, which we usually use. Okay, so if we would be having all the building code as well, then that GitHub account we are going to add over here, and where we want to deploy that also we are going to see if we have got such information. So this is how we are going to perform our actions. And you can just directly save this. So if you see this stage where we are actually deploying the dev project, then we might be having a unit test script. Then we are deploying it on the staging server. Then we might be adding a set of regression test suite. And then again, in the very last, we can add the deployment on the prod. So if we see this particular stage, which is deployment, you can change it to delivery as well. So when we see delivery versus deployment, or you can say continuous delivery or continuous deployment, delivery is mostly used in across companies or organizations because there is a manual intervention of people around in the team before deploying things on the direct production. So that manual intervention help us to make things 100% sure before pushing it everything to the production. But if you see deployment, and continuous deployment is basically going through all the stages of the pipeline altogether and finally pushing everything to the prod. Continuous deployment is used by very few companies which are very much confident and enough with their team members and also with their country infrastructure, I would say. So, but mostly you will find the approach of continuous delivery in the organizations. Just before deploying it on the production, it will go through a manual process where they are checking whether everything is fine or not, double checking with the team members, and that is how the process goes on. So this way you can add multiple stages, as many as you want, and depending on what all stages you want in your regular process, to keep on doing it. So I've saved it, and now you are ready to build. So this is your build now option. Click on this and wait for the new build to be integrated. You can check the test case being running on over here. So this is what we have got. Let's see the console. Started by Hema, then this is where it is running all these stages and everything. Deploying on staging server, deploying on production server, and finish as success. And in between, we were able to print our code. So if I click on build now again, this will start running. See, one session done. And if you go back to see the result in the Jenkins, and you will see the second build also got passed. And you can again see the console talking about the test case. Same way, the set of logs you see for a particular run of ours, the script, this set of log will be also applicable for production and staging deployment if we are going to integrate along with the collaboration with the developers. And if you want to keep only your automation project applicable for all these stuff, then you can do this way as well. We have seen these two builds being run. Now, if you want to explore the stages, what all stages which we have designed. So these are the stages which went well for all of these two builds run. And first one, building and testing, the deployment and delivery, and it ends. So this is how the build flow will looks like along with the successful run. And if there is any error, then it will come up with some red color in between wherever it is breaking. Okay, so this way you can have a look at how does it look like in terms of stages. If you want, you can have a look at how much time it has taken and when it is being ran, all of that console. Also, you can all see all the steps again, how much time each and every step has taken. Okay, so this way you can have a look at all the details. You can see the overview, console, each and everything over here, one by one. And this will give you complete information of how does your flow is working perfectly or not. Okay, so this way, this was your pipeline and this was your normal project. And now we will go back and see. So now we will see how we can create the script by default, so we don't have to write it over here. So we have seen one option called as where we can write our own script. So we can also bring that script via Jenkins files from the source code management tool, which is our GitHub. So why not to go with that option as well? So instead of going with this, I will just copy this particular set of script which I have created and just change it to SCM now. And over here, there is only one option I can see, which is Git source code management tool. Let's click this one. So it is asking you for the repo URL. So before doing that, what we are going to do is we will be moving to the GitHub account. So this is my GitHub account, and over here I will be adding my Jenkins files. So instead you can either upload it or you can create a new file as well. Let me create a new file. So I will be pasting all of the pipeline code which we have created in our last class. So we can copy the whole set of pipeline code in over here, and you can name it as your file as Jenkins file. Keep it as it is. Don't change anything like JS small or FS capital. This file name remain as it is like this, and you have just copy pasted all of your script and then do the commit changes here. So it is asking you whether you want to commit the changes to the main branch directly or you want to go via the process of Git. So if you are going to learn that particular Git and GitHub and everything, whole set of process, then you will be able to do that via this as well. But as of now, we are looking at some other topics. So let's directly push it to the main branch. So keep it in the main branch itself. Don't have to put it in any kind of folder or something. So to the commit changes directly. So now we have a Jenkins files also added over here in the project. And if you just go back, so let's copy the code or the clone link again. So the web clone link of the Git project. And let's go back to your pipeline and over here it is asking you for the GitHub repo, right? So you can just provide it over here. This is done. Then you can go down and see what is a branch specifier, change it to main as our main branch is named as MAIN. Okay, so Jenkins files we have already have placed in the GitHub project. Apply, save, and click on build now again. And let's see if we are able to do the same results by this approach as well. So these are the controlled set of piece of code which you can see. And this got success again, which also we are looking for. And Again, you can just replay or do replay if you want. You can do this as well. And if you want to see the stages like you were doing before, so this is how it will looks like. So it has added one more step here. Check out SCM because it is checking out the code from the source code management tool, which was GitHub in our case. So that we have taken. So this step also being added, and everything's went well. If there could be any error, then that will be showing in the red color. Then you have to do the changes as per their requirements. So this is how you're going to create the pipelines and everything how you can do on the AWS machine by creating the AMIs. And again, I'm going to say it is not very expensive, so you can test it easily. You don't have to think of that there will be a big bill or something which is going to come to you. Maybe $2, $3 or maybe five maximum in a month that I think anyone can afford. Explore this thing if we have. Let's create an account and go for it.